Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Out the Group Chat. Woo. It is us.
The group chat.
Hello, everyone.
We are all here. It's a wonderful day. How's everyone doing? It's hot.
It is so
hot.
freaking
Yeah.
hot.
But I'm good.
Yeah, we just got back from Chicago, which was really, really fun, but it was so fucking hot. Like,
Yeah.
We were going through a heat wave, plus
Yeah.
the humidity. Death.
Yeah, it's so funny because I feel like you complain about the heat here, but back there, the way that the air holds that temperature, I was like, I need to go home.
Either way, we are back here in our little homemade studio to talk to you guys today about what the fuck are we talking about?
reality.
Reality
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Nurse.
Reality TV, which I feel like when it comes to reality TV, I don't have as much of a, I guess, like introduction into it because there are so many shows that exist that I was not watching. The only like reality TV show that I can think of from my upbringing that I did in fact watch was like Jersey Shore. That's like the only thing that I can really think about. Does Maury count as reality TV? More talk show, daytime.
Yeah, I would say that was
Yeah.
a talk show, even though, and I think some of it was scripted. I think
For
like
sure.
Jerry Springer, like Maury, like.
Did you
it
guys
was-
see that Jerry Springer
Passed away.
documentary?
Oh,
Oh,
he did pass
He
away.
did
He
pass
did.
away.
she passed away. Right.
All right, well, we'll just get into our first topic. But before we do that, we do have to say our first episode, I know that the audio quality was a little questionable. I understand.
Sorry.
Right.
We're so sorry.
We had some technical difficulties in
That
the
we
renting
did.
of our mics. So we had the mics. They were not connected to anything, as I'm sure all of you could tell. And we just had to end up using our camera audio, which, you know, is not going to be the most high-tech quality
You
for
live and you
a
learn.
podcast.
You
Exactly.
know? Look at us now.
But now we have everything together. So pretend you never heard that. This is where we start. This is how you're introduced to us.
Right.
All right, let's get into our
Boom.
first topic. What is the reality TV show that raised you? What was the first one that you really dove into? English.
Since
grammar.
I'm the oldest, I'll go first. I will say Real World. Like Real World for me was like the earliest reality TV show that I can remember where I was like, ooh, I want to be like on that. You know, like it was these young, I guess maybe 20 somethings that were in these like exotic places, like going out and like having a lot of fun, like partying, drinking, like whatever. And I felt like I was like, I can do that. I want to be a part of that. I don't know.
He was inspired.
That's like
Like,
kind
I'm
of inspired
feeling
my whole personality. I don't know if Real World still like goes on.
The only person I know from Real World is Tammy Roman.
I
knew you were
don't.
gonna
I
say
can't like.
I knew you were going to say that.
I can't name any names, but I just remember one of the most iconic seasons was Real World Cancun. People like fought on that show.
Was that
and,
the
like,
one with the gay guy?
I don't remember. I need to go. Honestly, I want to go back and like watch
You said it was
again.
on MTV.
Yeah, it was on MTV.
I remember
yeah,
Real
but that was definitely like
I've heard of
the
that.
one that was like, what first stuck in my mind as like reality TV.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd say mine, I think I already said, was Jersey Shore. I was way too young to be watching that, but I was watching it regardless. Pauly D was my favorite. And then second would be Vinny. I think I liked Vinny as well. Mike scared me. Ronnie scared me. So, but yeah, I mean, Jersey
Wow,
Shore, I
no
feel like.
love for Snooki or JWoww.
Right, I was gonna be like, where are the
She hates
girls?
women.
Listen, I said what I said. But yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was Jersey Shore. I'm sure everyone is aware of that TV show. It was very much a phenomenon. Does like Survivor count as a reality
Yeah,
TV show?
for sure.
Survivor
I
counts.
feel like I kind of watched that. And then what about Fear Factor?
I was going to say Fear
I
Factor. For
think
some
so
reason,
as well.
I really watched Fear Factor. I don't know why, but like,
actively watched that.
Yeah.
yes.
I watched it a lot too. I was really disturbed by it. Like I could
Very
never,
much
like
so.
it was not good. And
Yes.
then at the Universal in Orlando, they have like a Fear Factor live that I've gone to a few times.
Oh wait, I would so do that.
They would like pick people out of the
To eat
crowd.
roaches.
Yeah, they like you do that kind
It was
of
the
stuff.
blended up worms for me.
It was. It's
It
a
was
lot.
everything.
It's a
I
lot.
think them getting put into like enclosed spaces
Oh, and
with
then stuff was
spiders or
crawling
snakes.
on them?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I
I could
maybe
never.
eat whatever, like eyes closed, like down the hatch.
See, it's
but
the
like
opposite for
being
me.
with things, no.
I feel like I could let the things crawl on me if I just closed my eyes and pretended it was something else, but I simply would not be able to swallow any of those things.
Right. I just don't think I could ever. I just never want to be uncomfortable. What did Kim Control say? I never want to be in a position where I'm uncomfortable or not enjoying myself for even a second.
Right.
I like that. I'm like, why would I want to do that? That's why I was like, I would never go on Survivor. They would have to airlift me out within the first 30 minutes. I'm not doing that. I'm not eating roaches and mice and shit. Like, that's not.
Funny enough, I agree, but I watch Naked and Afraid quite a bit, and I always think I can
I
do that.
remember
I'm
that
like,
show.
I could do this.
But I
Like,
also
I can
didn't watch
build a
that.
shelter and like a fire and like survive.
I
And
mean,
be in the
really
wilderness.
had
I
to,
think I
yeah.
could do that too if it was like do that or die. But electing to do it, no, ma'am. Like I could never.
That's fair. What's your
But yeah, mine is Flavor of Love. Of
Flavor of
course,
Love.
I remember watching that with my older brother. Again, I definitely was too young to be watching it, but I kind of did whatever my older brother did when I was when I was little. But I loved it. I loved the drama. I loved the theatrics of it all, and then of course that was our introduction to the iconic Tiffany Pollard.
Right.
Like I vividly remember the scene, the final scene where it was Flava Flav, her, and Delicious.
Yes.
Baby.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
obviously the pumpkin spitting
Yep.
scene.
That was gonna be
Like
the most
that
iconic
was, I
moment.
think truly I was like, oh, like this is entertainment.
Yes. Yes.
No, she definitely changed the
This is
game.
what I
Obviously,
wanna
reality
see.
TV was like
Right.
a thing, but she definitely changed
Right.
it. I feel like for me, I'm not a huge reality TV person, actually. I watch like a few here and there, but I feel like I was always in the know because of my sister, similar to like you watching with your older brother. My sister watched I Love New York. She watched Flavor Flav. She even watched The Hills, which is like based in Laguna Beach. Like she watched them all. And then even my mom, like she watches Housewives, different things like that. So I feel like I'm always tapped in, you know, because of them. But I never really watched them aside from Love is Blind and Love Island, which
Right.
we do
We'll get
need to
into
talk about.
You know, me and your mom are like friends.
I know you guys are besties.
Yeah, we're besties.
Yeah.
Like
No, she
I
loves
love Mary.
Willie.
Yeah.
And she
I
loves
love
you.
Right, Mary. I know you're
They
listening.
see each other.
I know you're listening to this because you are our number one fan.
period?
Let's get together and talk about Housewives. I love Housewives, so I can talk about them for days.
It's very soon. Also, before we jump topics, I do want to name one honorable mention, and that is Bad Girls Club. We talk about a show that I was too young to be watching, but my parents watch Bad Girls Club, so like
I'm screaming.
So crazy.
Oh, wait,
That is
you have
so.
young
I
parents.
would say Jelani's
Yes.
parents are young.
yes, I have very young parents, so like they were 20 somethings while I was, you know, like in my childhood, and so that was also a show where it was like, this is entertainment. Like throwing people's mattresses into the pool. Like it just, there's so many iconic moments and honestly like reality TV show fights that like just absolutely insane, crazy bananas that has now morphed into, as we know, baddies, which is a completely different situation. and can
We'll
of worms
also get into
We will get to that.
that we
topic.
will be doing.
Natalie
We should
Nunn
get
will
into
pay
it
for
now.
it.
Natalie Nunn, you will be dealt with.
Period.
Let's go really quickly through what reality TV show we think each person could thrive in. Like, if they were dropped off into that show, how would they do? How would they fare?
I think we low key had this conversation in Chicago where, I mean, at least speaking for myself, I said I would want to go on Love is Blind simply to do the reveal portion.
Oh, wait.
Because I
yes.
was like, it's so dramatic. And you walk out and you're like, oh my God, wait, it's you. You know, I feel like up to that point, I'd want to be on the show. After that, like, I'm not marrying
After the
nobody.
reveal,
Yeah.
you're not interested.
No.
But you think you could like play in it like from the
I mean, I
beginning?
kind of want to see
Just see what's
is
going
Love
on.
Blind. I mean, the show has already
No,
proven
it's
it is
not.
not.
It's simply not
It's
blind.
not.
Well, in certain cases.
No.
Which yes, certain
What, if they have
cases,
money?
But
Yeah,
like majority,
right.
no.
It's not.
They do need to have money.
Exactly.
That's a
Yeah.
Then I could be a little blind.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. I know that
I was about
I
to say something crazy.
would make it to the final 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I knew you were going to say
His
that.
favorite. Okay.
Look. Do I know how to do makeup? No. Can I style wigs? No. Am I a drag queen? No.
I was gonna say.
But I do know how to sew. So, you know what? I think I could learn everything else. because,
Clock it.
Look, I can act. I'm funny. And if I practice, like, I could definitely, get up in some good
Do a little
geesh.
something.
Yeah.
But, baby, I can sew. I know how to use a sewing machine.
Period.
So
And that's
I
how
would
you sell yourself.
exactly.
We love that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know enough reality shows to know which one. What do you guys think that I would thrive in? It has to be just something like chill and silly. Like, I'm not about to be like building a fort. I just don't have interest in starting fires.
I could
Interesting
definitely
starting
see you.
I actually love starting fires. That's such a lie.
I was like, what?
Okay, Arson.
Right.
I think I could, and this is another reality TV show that I know I would win this, and actually
Right.
I'm definitely planning on going on it with
Oh.
Abby, The Amazing Race. I think you would do great on that.
Okay, I know of that
okay.
show, but what is it? They're just
I don't know.
running around the town.
The world, girl.
Oh,
It's like a scavenger hunt mixed with a relay race type situation, and there's
Okay.
like different challenges. It's honestly really fun because obviously you get to travel
Yeah.
and stuff. And I think, and you do
I've
it like
never fully watched
you
it.
do it with a partner. So I think that you paired with someone that balances out like your skills. And then this is not you. This is mean like anyone who goes on it. Like if you have like balanced out skills,
Yeah.
travel experience, stuff like that. I think you would be able to.
That's a good
Okay,
one.
Amazing
Yeah.
Race. I'll take
I've never
that.
Yeah,
seen that.
that's a good one.
It's one of my favorites. It's really good.
Nice. And you?
I guess one reality TV show that I think I would do very well in, me and Geyer just started watching this recently. Geyer's my husband. The Secret Millionaire. It's basically like the game. Have you guys ever heard of? Well, it's not like Mafia. So the premise of the show is one person out of, I don't know, maybe like 10 people has $1 million. And so the rest of the people in the show have to figure out who the millionaire is. And they do like a series of like challenges and you get hints. So obviously the people who are in it become very like distrusting of each other, but also you have to kind of like try to form alliances because people can like turn on you and be like, Willie's the millionaire, even though you're not the millionaire.
Right.
And we just finished, I think, season 1. I think there might only be one season. And I was like, I would definitely be really fucking good at this show.
Wait, is this on Netflix?
Yes, it is.
I might have seen this.
It's
Is there a
really-
girl, Tolu? Is she on there? She has like
No,
short-
you're thinking
No.
of it's not The Mole, but it's one of those.
It's so similar.
It's
I feel
one of
like.
those off Netflix type situations.
But it's
I know
like
exactly
similar
what it's
premise.
very
Yeah.
it's very much so similar. The Mole is like very similar as well. Yeah.
But it's a really good show. You guys should watch it.
Okay, I mean, if we're talking about reality TV, we simply cannot get away with not talking about the bane of the Black community, which is Zeus Network.
We're coming
Zeus
for you.
Network.
Yeah.
We are filing a class action lawsuit against Zeus
We're
Network.
putting together a RICO case.
But okay, so I don't know when it comes to Zeus, because once again, like I just don't watch reality TV in general. But like I was introduced to Zeus maybe 2 years ago is when I was like made aware of what it was. And I would see like clips and episodes of the various people that are on Baddies, like on Twitter and stuff. And I was just always like, I never fully understood the concept of the show, because I understand some reality TV shows are just there for the drama. But the way and the behavior I saw displayed by these women on these shows, and then the way that it was always antagonized to the point that they would start doing these behaviors, I was like, no, something about this just seems like it's like almost like a minstrel act, but it's like the worst of the Black community displayed for everyone to just watch and laugh at. And I thought that was very like, I'm not a fan.
Yes,
sure.
as Willie would say, classless.
Yes.
Yes,
It is.
it's very
And I
classless.
will say, as somebody who obviously grew up watching the old OG Bad Girls Club, The original Bad Girls Club did not really have a premise either. Like, it was just a bunch of girls in a house kind of hanging out for the summer, 20-somethings, kind of similar to the Real. I think at some point they also might have had jobs or like had to do things like throughout the seasons. I can't remember. But I would say the difference between that show and Baddies is that Bad Girls Club was really just kind of like this. You're throwing people into a situation, you're seeing what they do. You're just letting them live in a place for the summer. Did fights happen? Yes. Did crazy stuff happen? Yes. But it didn't feel as overly produced as Baddies. Baddies, the whole point of being on that show is to fight. There's no other reason why they are there other than to beat each other up.
Because even the auditions for the show,
they're beating each other up.
Is them like talking their shit and then being like, I'll fight you. And then
isn't there a clip where
there.
Natalie says like, turn to the bitch next to you and fuck her
And
up
yes,
or something like that?
Probably.
It's crazy.
What is the benefit of that?
That's what I've also never
There
seen
isn't.
Baddies, and I didn't really know what it was either because I had only seen clips, and then obviously like Natalie Nunn has her like viral sounds on TikTok, and apparently it's like they are trying to have music careers.
No,
I mean,
it's
I guess-
not even.
What?
I think some people are definitely
we
trying
sure?
to be like entertainment field adjacent and like they're using this as their stepping stone. But even so, I would never want something like this behind me as my platform.
Right.
I think my issue with, well, I already declared war on Zeus in the first episode. You already know where I stand. But I think my issue, not even just with Zeus, although I have a very specific hatred for them, even other shows like Basketball Wives, Real Housewives of Atlanta,
Isn't that your show?
no, and it's a good show, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but they have to lean into the most like racist, most negative stereotypes of Black women being aggressive, combative, hypersexual, whatever. And that is the way you become like one of these reality TV icons as a Black woman. Like Jelani said, for baddies, you get drunk and fight each other. And on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you got to throw shade and start arguments with each other. Like the crux of the show is to do that. And if you don't, you are called boring. And then they're like, threatening your job. Yeah, you're going to kick you off. And so it's like you
so
have
they have to play into the stereotype.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would say specifically for Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I've had this discussion before, particularly about that show. Yes, they have had their moments where we know Portia likes to tussle. But obviously they've had their moments where it's like, okay, this isn't necessarily the greatest representation. But I think something with Atlanta is, yes, they all, fight or whatever like that. But I think that they, at the end of the day, they all understand like, we're on this TV show together and like we are representing Black women. And I don't think it's like they have their offline beef and everything like that, but it's never something to the extent of like, okay, this is like getting like crazy. Like when I feel like the Atlanta women and Potomac as well, because that's the other all Black cast. At the end of the day, they're all able to kind of come together at the end of the day and, be like, okay, even if, we don't see each other, we're good.
So. I can definitely say that I agree with that. I think for housewives, like the ones that you mentioned, they are all understanding of the fact that they are producing reality television. And so they do lean into those tropes. But I think the core of what Baddies is so sinister and like crazy because like you said, the premise, or you thought the premise was like, oh, they're trying to have music careers. No, the premise of the show is they're trying to get to the bag.
Yeah.
We do not know what the bag is,
elusive
where
bag.
it is, or what it takes to get to the bag. They're just doing whatever. They're getting booked at like clubs, going and then fighting.
Right.
Like Élise said, like even at auditions, it's like the whole point is to prove that you're like the baddest bitch by like beating somebody up, which is just like that. I think in and of itself sets it apart from like every other reality TV show because it does primarily center Black women and it shows them, like Alliyah said, in such like an aggressive, hypersexual light. And nobody is trying to sort of curtail that. Like at least on Bad Girls Club, you would have moments where the girls would be like, like people would often say like, oh, being the baddest bitch doesn't imply that like you have to fight everybody. Like being a bad girl means like being on your shit, doing all this stuff, like da-da-da-da-da. Like it can be so much more and so much more expansive than that. Not saying that Bad Girls Club was an excellent representation of black women on reality television, but what I'm saying is Baddies took that concept and just completely ran it into the ground, and it has now become something that is just entirely unbearable to watch.
And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you get sent home when you fought on Bad Girls Club?
Yeah.
There were some times when there was, But I would also say, like, with kind of going back to like Housewives and other reality shows, I guess, like basketball and stuff like that, there are at least not redeeming. There are like positive moments where it's like, you know, a lot of the women on Atlanta in particular, like extremely successful. Like Candy Burris, she freaking has a Grammy. Like, and they have a lot of really important conversations as well. I remember during like summer of 2020 and Trayvon Martin was murdered and everything. So I think that those shows do serve an important role because those women are able to talk about these, you know, topics that are important to the Black community, but then, you know, open it up to, you know, anyone who wants to watch it. With Baddies, it's like there's no substance to this. There's nothing redeeming whatsoever. You all look so ridiculous, and then it's like, and then it encourages, and then it's like we see it spilling over off the television where it's like, what's her name with the baby that has fetal alcohol syndrome?
Yeah, Krishan Rock.
Or allegedly has fetal alcohol syndrome. And it's like, it's just really sad.
Well, yeah, it makes me think about just like the same way that like I was watching Jersey Shore as a child, not knowing like what is going on, but I'm still watching it. There are tons of little girls, little boys who are tuning into this show most likely and internalizing some of these messages that they send. Because I mean, there's really nothing positive in Baddies. Like not that I can name. There's nothing positive attributes for someone to like emulate. So I worry about like kids who are getting access to these TV shows, seeing how these women navigate the show and then taking those behaviors into their lives, into their families, with their friends. It's just like, it's all just reinforcing these negative behaviors that are not representative of Black people at all, but like just continuing to like just push this stereotype that does not need to exist.
And I even want to take what you just said right now and like maybe take it into like a little bit of a spin-off conversation, because when we were growing up watching reality television, it was just that. It was like on the TV. Yeah. So I feel like our parents had a little bit more control over what we were watching. Yeah. So like if you were watching something that was super crazy, you know, they could put parental blocks on it, or they would just tell you you can't watch that or to turn it off. Now it's like with everybody having access, you know, a supercomputer at, you know, the tip of their fingers, you can be tuning in from anywhere and be watching anything. Yeah. And I really feel like that
and kids are more savvy today too.
And that affects the psyche of young children who are, like you said, tuning into Baddies or like other sort of Zeus-esque like reality TV shows and being like, oh, this is cool. This is something that I want to do. You know, like, let me try to emulate this. And it's like,
like we said, Zeus, you will be dealt with.
What other shows are on Zeus?
Bobby, I Love You, Purr.
You be watching? What?
No, literally. I definitely think we watched
that. We did watch it. Okay, so So,
right, because I don't know nothing about that lifestyle.
Right. So Lauren, who is not here, but our really good and dear friend Lauren, is definitely an avid Zeus Network.
Don't throw her under the bus like that.
She is. I love Lauren.
Lauren does watch Zeus. I've heard her.
Lauren, love her down, but she watches Zeus, and so.
But also, Lauren has the intelligence and the adult developed brain to know, you know,
what she's viewing.
Basically. Yeah. Lauren went to law school with us.
Yes.
That's how we all know her.
Yes. And so, so
Bobby, I Love You, Purr.
Bobby, I Love You, Purr, which is also it was basically like think Flavor of Love. And yeah, he's on a dating show trying to find love, and it's gay, so it's a bunch of gay men.
And there was another one that
really interesting. Yeah, I can't remember, but yes,
it was another one that was similar to Baddies in my opinion, but it was all men.
Oh, Bad Boys.
Bad
Oh,
Boys.
Bad
Oh,
Boys.
that on Zeus?
Bad Boys, yes. Bad Boys.
Anyway, so Zeus, it's just not it.
Count your days.
I want you guys gone. Like, I want you guys defunded, deplaned, de-skinned. Okay, that's crazy.
Oh,
That's
That's a little
Right.
crazy.
Oh.
Is it?
That's a
Well,
little wild. But yeah, Zeus, you must perish. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. You are
It's
a
ridiculous.
bane to the black community.
yeah.
All of you. Natalie.
Even if my
name
name
was
was
Natalie,
Natalie,
now
none of
you
these
bitches still couldn't check me.
Okay, well, it would be remiss to not discuss Love Island on our reality TV episode.
Yeah.
More specifically, Friday night's episode with Olandria and Taylor.
Yes.
I must say, I'm very irritated with Tay Tay because I need Austin and TJ out of my villa
Right.
immediately.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
has forced me to redirect my efforts. Like, I want to download the Love Island app so
You
I
don't
can
have it?
participate.
Oh, I have
no,
it.
I
Oh, I
want
have
to.
it.
I said I'm
Oh, so
voting.
You're not a real fan.
I'm voting.
I haven't been
You are my
voting
least
either.
favorite.
But I just get the
gonna
rundowns.
say
I don't
you don't
actually
watch
watch
it.
the show.
That is true.
Also,
you need to watch.
I
We're-
try.
We're recording this on the 29th, so we haven't seen tonight's episode. So everything
Yeah.
we talk about is literally up until the end of Casa.
Yeah.
Friday night's episode. So I feel like, again, Taylor, I'm not even mad at Clark. I've seen a lot of people talk about Clark. Her
Depends.
whole role coming into Casa Amor is to disrupt the current couplings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did. So I'm not mad at her for doing her job. What I am mad at is Taylor for breadcrumbing Olandria week after week after
Yes.
week after week. And obviously, she's not privy to the conversations we've seen as viewers where he's talking to like Ace or Nick and talking about like not being physically attracted to her, what have you.
Which is crazy.
Crazy.
Very crazy. 'Cause,
Insane.
like,
She is the
look at
prettiest
her.
person
Look at her.
in the
Gorgeous.
Like,
Gorgeous.
I'm gay.
No
and
shade.
and I can see.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I feel like for me, my issue is that when Jalen came into the villa, because of Ace, Taylor tried, which I already took issue with. Why do you need another man to tell you to like step it up? But
Right.
Taylor starts trying to plan little dates, whatever dates you could get in the villa. He starts to show her more physical affection. And so I feel like she took that as, oh, we're getting somewhere. Like we're growing a little bit and he does like me. Like this, something's happening here. Again, she doesn't hear the conversations we've heard.
Right.
But I do feel like now it's very apparent that this man does not like you.
Yeah.
Even he didn't even rush to hug her when he found out she was
The way
back
he
in the
jumped
villa.
over- He
To
jumped
hug
over
Nick.
her.
To hug
to
Nick.
hug Nick.
And then even the comment, like maybe you're just not liked. And again,
That was
I'm
crazy.
showing you who is not liked because he is getting out of my villa.
Right.
I'm so serious. Like there's no way you stand up there in a sleeveless fucking blazer and embarrass her. No, oh my God, it pains me.
Yeah,
It
I
pains
think
me.
that honestly, this is a situation of a man getting a little bit too big for his britches.
Yeah.
I think that he thinks very highly of himself, and while I support people and their positive self-esteem, I think that maybe it's a little bit misplaced in this current moment. I think that it is so sad to see Olandria go through this because she is a beautiful Black woman and she deserves the love and attention that she wants, and Tay is not giving that to her. And for whatever reason, you know, she is still stuck on that man. She's like, my man, my man, my man.
And also, I will say, up until honestly Friday night's episode, I was thinking like what is she seeing? But then obviously, you know, the way that Amaya Papaya and Hutta reacted, and you know, like Amaya was about to get active. It was clear to me, even the guys, it was clear to me that like whatever was, you know, going on in the villa that we're not seeing, he was able to fool everybody.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's like, you know, if I would feel if like, you know, Amaya, the other girls didn't think that Taylor and Olandria had that connection, I don't think they would have reacted that way. Like everyone seemed shook. And then he looked so fucking pathetic. He is the quintessential goofy ass nigga. Like every time he's on TV, like stand up, like stop hunching over. You look like a fucking scarecrow. Like it's really sad to watch. I'm like, it's shocking. That's the only way I can think
and
of.
The more he sort of pulls away, the more she kind of pines after him. Like taking those pictures, kissing the back of it, then putting it in his drawer.
Yeah, that kind of.
And he didn't care.
He didn't care at all.
And
at all.
I will say, because I was quietly pushing this ship for a while. I am a Nick Olandria stan, and shout out to Shonda Rhimes. I really think that their 2 seconds, in the, what is it called? It's
Soul Ties?
Yeah, their 2 seconds in Soul Ties, I really felt like they had way more chemistry than Olandria had with Taylor the entire fucking season.
I think it might just be like almost like a mental roadblock for Olandria. Like we don't know all of her dating history, but I think one of you had already mentioned that her being from the South, it might just be her not being able to see past like wanting the black love, wanting like the Southern black man. But I think this is going to sound a little crazy, but sometimes I think black love or the pursuit of black love is a hindrance for black women sometimes. Obviously, black love is super important, super like sought after, but sometimes, in my opinion, it's just better to go where you're loved. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if Nick has everything that is necessary to be a boyfriend per se.
It's just hot.
Right, per se. But I do think in this situation, it was much clearer that he would actually have tried harder. And like their whole like friend zoning thing was mostly Olandria, in my opinion. Like if she hadn't been, wanting to be like, okay, my connection with Taylor is this and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure Nick would have been fully into like, let's just do this. Like, let's
I feel like he did. I mean, I don't fully believe his whole when I was kissing you, I was thinking about Sierra thing. He wanted Olandria bad.
Yeah.
Like, he definitely wanted her.
Because he kissed her in that other thing way back.
He was always
ago.
choosing her to kiss. Always in all the challenges.
Most of the clips, so like I don't actually sit down and watch it most times. Most of the clips that I've seen are him kissing her in different settings.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I feel like all the guys want Olandria because that
They do.
the one challenge where Paige DeSorbo hosted, and that's when Jeremiah was kissing Olandria and everybody. I'm like, dang, they all want her. But I want to circle back to what you're saying about black love being a block. I think the perfect example of that, and this is still on the theme of reality TV, is Lauren and Cameron from the first season of Love is Blind.
Oh.
I think, because that's the only season I fully watched, and I remember Lauren talking, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Lauren talking about how, she had never dated someone outside of like the black community and everything like that. But obviously she was very much so willing to, explore that connection with Cameron and everything. And to this day, they, in my opinion, are the most successful, not just Love is Blind couple, but just I think reality TV couple in general.
They are.
I will say with Love is, everybody forgets about Brett and Tiffany, but they are one of my favorite Love is Blind couples, actually.
I do love them too. But also, Lauren and Cameron are pregnant, so shout out to you guys because that is like, I think
and she had
everybody,
trouble getting pregnant. She talked about it. Yeah, for a while. I was so happy for
I
her.
really enjoyed the first season of Love is Blind. I think they should have stopped at the first season. But I do remember that in particular, their love story and Lauren opening up about that. And I think that that's a good example of like, her being willing to step outside of, what she had envisioned or like was comfortable with, and like, I mean, look how it turned out. Like Cameron's from what we see, an excellent husband, and he's hot.
Yeah, she lucked out, honestly. One and done.
Right.
Yeah, so for our good sis Olandria, we really want the best for you, girl. We really do.
We're trying to help you.
But stand up.
I mean, she was my fave from the beginning. Like the second she walked in, I was like, yeah, she's number one. So I hope she wins.
I honestly think it's going to be really interesting when they get out of the villa and she sort of is able to see
everything.
Well,
I like that she'll see a lot of love for herself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But like I said, the villa is like a very specific environment that breeds like these like charged emotional reactions and things. So I actually feel like when she takes a step back, she would be like, oh, especially when she starts talking to her friends, family, whoever.
Yeah. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also think just in general, this season of Love Island is like it is weird. Like
it's covered in something.
I was like, even at this point, I'm like, I just don't see any of them. Obviously, someone's gonna win, but I'm like, I don't really care who wins.
The success of the last season definitely permeated into the minds of everyone who like auditioned to be in this season, because half of everyone, like half of the people there, are playing to win only. Like it's like, you know, everyone knows that Love Island is a game and there's a monetary prize at the end, but people are still trying to like interact with the game as it's meant to happen. The people on this season are just playing to get the money. You see it in Ace. You saw it kind of in Jeremiah. I think he was like half and half, but he was definitely still playing to like win. I don't know how the fuck Austin is still there. I don't even know if he's still playing to win or if he's just like getting lucky.
Austin I'm telling you, he's just cruising. He's just
there,
like, week by week.
He's just there. Yeah. And then, I mean, Amaya has clearly been playing for love. Yeah. But yeah, there's just too many people who are too privy and too like all knowing about like what's happening, that they're trying to like manipulate situations. And I'm like, this is kind of fucking up the show.
It's not fun to watch. Even like, and don't jump me, I think Huda, even, you know, she had her tumultuous time. Right. I think she genuinely, I don't think, it's very clear that she genuinely wanted, you know, she's looking for love. She's looking for someone, but obviously with the Jeremiah situation, it was just
I think she just
0 to 100 real quick, and it kind of, you know, and it's like we've all been there. I think
she's a nut.
Yeah, like I don't think she is someone who should be on.
I don't either. I don't either, but I don't think her intentions coming into this were
to be the one.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I agree. But I don't think that. I do hope that
she was driven to madness.
Yes, I pray that not only her, a lot of these people. Vanna, freaking Huda, like we said.
The one black guy that everyone was like making fun of.
JD?
Jalen. I think that I really hope that whoever their support system is at home has a therapist ready for them.
Well, because people are way too comfortable posting online and discussing people as if they don't exist. Like, people are interacting with these individuals as if they are characters on a TV show. So it's like, whatever, it's not going to hurt them. They're not real. These people are getting off the island and like coming back into the real world and seeing these comments about themselves. Like, I have my opinions on everyone and this, that, and the third. I have never made a video disparaging anyone. I have never left a comment disparaging. Keep it in the group. It's very simple to not be a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. It's very, people have been very mean to like the bombshells this season. Yeah. Like, I've seen a lot of discourse regarding the fact that like discussing people's like looks in like a very like just like disrespectful way.
And that's why I said that about the Clark thing. Like, even talking about her hair, which I think is a whole nother conversation specifically about like black women and their hair, or her posture, whatever. At the end of the day, she's a human, and at the end of the day, she did what she came there to do on the show. Like, that was her role. So I don't understand.
People want to villainize her.
Exactly.
But they want to take her character, these little moments that we're seeing, because it's 1 hour out of 24 hours.
Right.
And they want to like categorize and pick and choose and be like, this is exactly how you are. This is the type of person you are. Like, these are the types of things you'll do. It's like, we don't know these people at all.
I feel like this is not just a Love Island situation, but just a lot of reality TV, because this is a huge problem with the Drag Race fandom as well. Like, trust me, I have my opinions about Drag Race. I have a lot to say, and I have never once thought, let me go to this queen's page and tell her that she is shit, or, you know, tell her, you know, leave death threats. That is crazy. Like, because at the end of the day, no matter, you know, if Ginger Min wins All Stars 10, or Aja or Bosco, whoever, my life will not change one iota. So at the end of the day, yes, I have the people that I'm rooting for, but I actually really don't give a fuck, because it's like the people that I like, I'm still going to support them off the show, as I have always been before they were on this season. And the people I don't care for, you know, it's whatever.
It's not that serious.
And it's just very weird. Like, what in your brain is like, let me go online and attack this person so brutally for what?
People are raised weird.
Racism.
Yeah.
The answer is racism. Especially, I would say, like, examples like of Love Island, Drag Race specifically.
Oh, God.
These twinks, these white twinks, really have a preference, a certain, affinity for a certain aesthetic, and anything that deviates from that for them is just like ghastly.
Right.
And so you see a lot of people commenting on like primarily black queens, like brown queens, their aesthetics, like saying they're not polished, they're not this, they're not that. And it's like, A, you don't know these people. B, you couldn't get on the show and do anything that was memorable. So why are you talking about somebody who is clearly more successful than you and has more going on than you? It's sad. I think you need to get a life. And like also, like you said, to go on social media and just like go on this person's page to let them know how much you don't like them. Is something wrong with you? Are you sick in the head?
I think in particular with the Drag Race fans, they hate seeing a black queen who is talented and she knows she's a shit.
Yeah.
They hate Lux Noir London.
Yeah.
Just for being
Simone,
she is one
Evie.
of the best competitors. Her, Anya Nerve, like all these people, it's like they're just excellent drag queens. Bob, you guys already know how I feel
Monet.
about Bob and Monet. Oh my God. If y'all see this, look, I'm in LA. Let's link up. But I think it's crazy because it's like, yeah, like Bob is that girl and she should know, like why would she not, feel her oats?
And lastly, I was just going to say it's not only just racism. I think it's just the lack of empathy in general for people because like the way people, obviously with Drag Race, which I haven't seen, but like people talking negatively about the black drag queens as to be expected. But like even in Love Island, it's anyone like of all the different races that are going to get heat about this, that, and the third. I just think we are currently, I mean, we always have been, but it seems to be just very heightened right now in just like a state of no one actually cares about anyone else at all. There's no empathy. There's no humanity. There's no like, there's such a disregard for like feelings. And I don't know, it's weird. People are keyboard warriors and they love to say whatever they want to say without like, they know that there's not really going to be any real consequences, so they feel emboldened to do these things. And I don't know, it's gross. You were raised weird.
I will say on the final note about people being keyboard warriors and a lack of empathy, a lot of people move throughout this world, and it's specifically the internet, as if they've never been hit before. And that can change.
Right.
At any point.
And that's that on that.
And that was not a threat.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move on. I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions, and hopefully you give me some good answers. So the first one is the most unhinged reality TV moment that lives in your head rent-free.
Most unhinged?
Yeah.
For me, I think Willie already mentioned it, but Pumpkin spitting on New York for sure. And low-key, anything...
What?
Pumpkin spitting on New York.
You
never
haven't
seen
seen
that?
Flavor of
Pumpkin,
Love.
white girl, short, blonde bob.
She spat on her?
Yes.
I sent you the GIF where New York is like running after that white girl. She spit on her. She spit on her.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spitting on someone is just like...
It's
that is
vile.
the
That's
ultimate
battery.
disrespect.
I was about to say,
The
that is like a level above just shooting them.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well shot them.
Well, okay.
Continue.
No, I was gonna say, low-key, anything that happened on America's Next Top Model. Like Tyra Banks was routinely unhinged.
Wait, I forgot to mention, that was probably the first reality show that I've ever seen.
Actually,
now
none
that
of
I
us
think about
mentioned
it.
it.
No one mentioned
nobody
it.
did.
And
my
that
sister
show
watched that
was
one a lot too.
Wild.
Yeah.
Psychotic.
And yes, Tyra has apologized. I was gonna say you'll pay for your crimes, but like she recently made up with I'm forgetting her name, but I follow her. She was Yada. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I want to look it up. But she recently made up with one of the girls, and it was like a very beautiful moment. There was like articles about it and stuff, which was
She's
very
atoning
nice.
for her sins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, so many. Are we saying, what was the question? Was it iconic?
Unhinged, but iconic works too.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, when I think of iconic reality TV, I think of the early seasons of Drag Race, to bring it back to Drag Race.
Okay.
Because it was less kind of, I want to say polished, because it's like obviously they've always been, polished and talented, but a lot of them were less aware of, the cameras or less aware of the audience. And I really think when Alyssa and Coco Montrese walked into the workroom, face crack. And that entire storyline, so good.
Élise not knowing what that is.
Right.
She's just like,
I looked into the distance.
I'm just staring at Willie.
We'll educate you. And then also when season 2, when RuPaul asked the girls, what do you think that we're not seeing? And Tatiana said, I think you're not seeing what the judges aren't seeing, that Tyra is a complete bitch. And there have been no truer words ever spoken
I'm screaming.
in the universe. Tyra is not a good person.
Oh,
Like, we
Tyra
all know
Sanchez?
that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
No.
not a good person, but to this day, I'm like, Tatiana is Bible. Like,
Yeah.
when she said that, and also, oh my God, when Nicole Page Brooks, Queen, love her, when she said she was not thinking she was going to run into such malicious gay faggotry. That was so funny.
Am I allowed to laugh?
Right.
But no, I think that when I
That's
think of
crazy.
iconic moments, like it does, and then obviously a lot of housewife moments as well. But you know,
Yeah.
we don't.
I
have
feel
to
like
get
we
into
know
it.
those.
Yeah,
like
no, yeah.
I'd say the most unhinged reality TV moment that I can think of is they're both from Jersey Shore. It's when Mike, the situation, smashed his head into a wall because he was so angry.
Oh.
And obviously that was kind of like a psychotic break for him in a way, because I think he ended up having to go to like rehab or something after that. But like just the whole sequence of events, I think this is when they were in Italy. So they had actually like gone to Italy. Mind you, like none of them are actually Italian. So that's funny.
What?
Yeah, none of them are Italian.
What are you talking
Except
about?
for, I think Vinny might be the only one who actually comes from like an Italian
Élise, you're
family.
lying to me right now. Oh, wait.
They are not
We're
Italians.
fact checking this.
These people are
right
not
now.
Italians.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Is Snooki Italian?
I've never
At
seen
all.
Jersey Shore.
No.
This is space crack.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, this is
Oh my God.
You don't
Is
be reading
JWoww-
people's. You don't be reading people's Wikipedia.
Elise
pages?
stays on Wikipedia.
Oh my
They
God.
are not Italian.
What the fuck? Why were they so? You're liars. You're liars. You lied to me
The
as
whole-
a child.
The whole
You
premise
lied
of
to
the
children.
show was them
You-
being like American Italians in
Yes.
New Jersey.
Yes.
But I think only 2 of them have like Italian bloodlines. And that could also just not be true. It could also only be one of them. And I'm not even 100% sure who. I think Vinny is the only one that has like actual like Italian bloodline in him. I think.
I cannot believe this is
That could
happening
be
to me
false.
right now.
Anyway.
This is
well,
wild.
Now you know.
Wow.
And then
The more you know.
And then the second crazy thing or unhinged thing I would say is when Snooki got punched in the face.
I do.
I thought
remember
like that whole moment was so terrible to me just because one, a grown ass man punching a woman in the face, okay, you're fucking insane. But just the whole like that whole situation and them being like so drunk and then this man like popping her in the face for no absolute reason and then everyone just like losing their minds. I was just like, I don't know where this physical violence has to come from. And also someone like Snooki who's not even clearing 5 feet.
Yeah, she's
that's fucking crazy.
It's horrifying.
So that was a very unhinged moment where I was just like, oh, these people play in a way that I've never played before.
Right.
Mind you, I was like, when did the show come out? 2007 or something?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I was like 9 maybe when I was watching this show when I was young.
Jeez.
I was a child. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I think the one that sticks out to me the most is what you
I know what you're gonna say.
You know what it is. While she's talking about my husband, the father of my children, when she spends her weekends peddling through catalogs, trying to
Find herself a husband.
Wait,
Yeah, you don't know if your baby star is gonna be a chummer or an axe murderer.
Because what you will know is he needed himself $10 to buy himself a medium-sized pizza, so he ejaculated in a
into a
cup,
cup,
so
yeah.
you could have a kid. Now check that.
Now that might be the craziest read to ever
because that was
exist
just scathing.
in the history
Yeah.
of the world.
Scathing.
I was like-
what do you even say to
And
that?
she didn't.
Nothing.
couldn't say
She
anything.
didn't
She couldn't
miss
say
a
anything.
single word.
Can
No.
I also say that is the same reunion where Portia dragged Kenya across the
Is that the same one?
That is all the same. That is all
What
the
a
same episode.
season.
And when Nene was like, "Don't make me call
Portia.
That's all the
That
same
is all
one.
the same reunion. So it's like Kenya was getting whacked.
Okay, but
That is-
do you guys,
Oh,
that
wait.
one clip where the lady,
Not the least.
this is not going to be the same show. I already know it. I'm so off. You know that clip of the lady?
What lady?
She's like, I don't know, she's black and she's like, not on
My
my
watch.
watch.
Yeah, no.
That lady, first of all, you know she's not even a therapist. And she was therapizing people. She is not a
What
therapist.
show was that?
It was on
It was like
Oprah's
Fix My
Network.
Life.
Yes.
Oh, so
With-
this was not
this
what
was
you're
no,
talking
that
about.
No,
was
those
not-
are two completely
different.
different
Alright,
worlds.
But also, was the reunion episode? Was that reunion also the same one? It's Lifestyle.
Joggers?
It's not.
No,
Joggers.
that was the earlier
That
season.
wasn't? Oh, okay.
That was season 9 or 10.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay,
season.
that was a
I want to
different
say
one.
I don't think.
Joggers.
She by
Well,
Sheree.
Sheree was on that season, but I don't think it was. I don't think
Okay,
it was.
and then another one that sticks out to me is when I don't remember. It was an episode of the Kardashians. I don't know if they were in the
I forgot.
Bahamas
It was
or
a reality
like
show.
Fiji or wherever they were, but it was when Kim lost her earring in the ocean,
Oh.
and Courtney was like, or was it? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Courtney was like,
Kim,
people are dying.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, true.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I think those are like the two. And another one from Bad Girls Club, since we just mentioned it, the episode where Camilla fights the house and her mother is on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, beat the ass, Camilla.
I've seen
That
it.
is
Yeah.
also
I'm not
a
familiar.
very iconic unhinged reality TV moment.
Very
There's
good.
several black women at the forefront.
Right.
Exactly. Of entertainment.
Advice section.
Okay, we got a few questions from some of our viewers. Thank you for the day ones. You will be remembered.
Quite literally, day one.
Literally.
Yeah.
So the first question is, have any of you watched The Queer Ultimatum, and what are your opinions?
So I have. I've only seen, I'm going to caveat this by saying that I've only seen like 2 or 3 episodes. One thing about, queers, of which I am, that really pisses me off is when we get on reality TV, we really don't have any self-awareness. And what I will say about the contestants, but participants of this year's, or this season's Queer Ultimatum is like, nobody is really taking into account like what this show is actually for. Like, I think a lot of people go onto the show thinking that they're going to like test their relationship, but in a way that's healthy, when like 9 times out of 10, that's not what happens.
I will say I've only seen the first episode, or not the first episode, the first season of The Queer Ultimatum. So I think that was season 2 of the actual show, 2 or 3. I will say this. First of all, the premise of the entire show is wild.
Crazy.
Because what do you mean you are together for 10 years and you want them to propose, so you're coming on a show to date other people to see if it works?
Just
Mind
break up.
you, none of these people have tried maybe, I don't know, couples therapy.
Right.
Like talking. I don't know. But anyway.
Also, you don't need to be on a show to take care of that.
Yeah.
You might as well just do it
That's
all
what I'm
the
saying.
TV.
At all.
But with The Queer Ultimatum, I was really excited for the first queer season because it is lesbians, the queer women. And I think a lot of times in media, queer women don't get the same exposure as gay men.
Yes.
A lot of the time. So I was really excited to watch it. And I have several lesbian friends. Let's go lesbians. But that season was, I really liked it. It was wild. Some of the people were like, this is wild. But yeah, I think I really like it. I haven't watched this current season yet. I'm definitely planning on watching it. When it's like shows like The Queer Ultimatum, where it is queer women, like I'll be watching with, like some of my straight friends or like people that necessarily aren't.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, well, no. I have straight friends that are girls.
Well,
I should
yeah.
clarify. I should clarify.
It's loverly. It's like, they have the stereotype of like the U-Haul lesbian.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you did I teach you that?
Yes, you
the
did, you
U-Haul
did.
lesbian. Yeah, it's like it's associated with like, being like very intense
Very
within
intense.
a relationship
They are
specifically.
very intense,
And so I
yeah.
think the Queer Ultimatum is like a great showcase of that.
They are
Are great.
intense lovers.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so last question, it's a fun one, is who do you think would look the cutest bald out of the 4 of us?
I already gave my answer for this behind the scenes, but I think that I have the head shape for pretty much every hairstyle. I've had my hair like long, bob. I've had like my mini afro. I've had my big afro in my past. Twists, sew-ins. Like, listen, I'm a chameleon. I'm a chameleon. I can wear any hairstyle. So I do think I could be bald and it would not be a problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first name that popped into my head was Élise, just because of like her head shape. I think it's very round, and so it would
just
be
like an egg,
right? And so it would be conducive to a shiny, bald Cynthia Erivo-esque do.
right?
Actually, I'm seeing it. I think none of you, but I'm seeing it.
Oh, I think that I have a kind of weird head shape when it comes to, and I also haven't had like a buzz cut since like junior year of high school.
Right.
Although I am cutting off my dreads this week. But I think actually Alliyah would look good because I think that especially looking at you from the side, you have similar.
Do I have a good side profile?
You do. You have a very similar bone structure, face shape as Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
And I watched Wicked this morning.
That's fair. Yeah.
Wait, did you?
Yeah.
I watched Wicked this morning. No, because that's why I texted. I was like, "What time are we meeting?" I went.
Oh, you needed to finish.
I was like, I want to make sure that I have enough time. But so Cynthia is on my mind. I think that you have like a very similar side profile as her, and like the like angular like jawline and everything. I think you would look good.
I'm removing like your hair right now.
We can get the app out.
Right. Or the clippers.
Make all of us
Right.
Right. And let's have
there.
everyone else vote.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
Maybe we'll do that for like TikTok.
That would be funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is that the end of our show?
That is the
That's a
end of
wrap.
our second episode.
Thank you guys for listening. So you can find us at OTGC Pod on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and you can find all of us individually on our social medias. I'm Willie Duhart on TikTok and Willie.Duhart on Instagram.
I'm Élise Osafo on Instagram, Elle the Egg on TikTok, and Élise the Egg on YouTube. One day I will make them all the same thing.
Right. It's just Jelani on Instagram, and then just Jelani on TikTok.
And if you want to get personal, I'm _Alliyah T on Instagram, or you can find me at Fit with Alliyah or Leah's Legal Life across all platforms.
And these will be popping up
Right.
on the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening and for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.